episode of the Streets to Success podcast with Frank, Jalil, and we got a special guest in the building, Niddarah. How you doing today?
I'm good.
Good.
Thanks for coming on. We appreciate you showing up on a Saturday.
Yes, I made it here. I had work. I got off of work at 6 o'clock this morning, went running, and then I came here. So I'm a little
Productive
tired,
day.
but I'm here.
A productive day for you.
Yeah.
So typically we start off with just a little bit about you, where you're from, as far back as you can remember, like toddler, teenage years, stuff like that, what your household was like, school and stuff like that, to give people a little idea of like who you are, where you're from, and what your upbringing was like.
Okay. So I'm from North Philly, like 25th and Lehigh. I grew up with my mom. She was really like, she was a hustler. She was like one of the first women hustlers that I ever seen. I went to Walton Middle School, so that's there in North Philly. You went to Walton?
No, that's right down the street though.
Yeah, I went to
Man,
Walton.
that's
My upgrowing was kind of different, being as though my mom was always in the streets. So it wasn't like a regular, like, mom cook at night. And, like, I really ate Chinese food almost every night. My mom was a hustler. My dad, he was on drugs. I think a lot of times growing up, like, back then, a lot of the parents, if it wasn't one or two of them, was on drugs. So my dad was on drugs. My mom wasn't. So we would move around a lot. And we would move like, you heard of Williamsport?
Yeah.
So Williamsport was kind of like where you go like to go to rehab. So we would go like back and forth from Philly to Williamsport. So my schooling, like everybody that I grew up with or I went to school with, like Ryan, you know Ryan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we went to school together, and they used to always be like, "You never in school? Why you never in school?" Because I used to transfer so much back and forth, and I think a lot of times, like now that I'm older, I don't know. Like I feel like some people, like they take their upbringing and they make excuses for it. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like this because, or I'm like this because my parents was this way, my parents was that way. And I feel like a lot of times that should be your motivation to not be a certain kind of way.
Right.
We used to live in shelters. Like, I went from shelter to shelter, like, after a while. So it was different for me growing up.
Who was in your household growing up? Like, was it just you? Did you have
up,
brothers, sisters?
So I had a little brother, I think he like 35. Then I got a little sister, she 33. So when I tell stories, a lot of times they don't remember none of this stuff. It's like I, the only one that remember it. And I feel like that's good because I know how to shake it off. I know how to live without, regretting and, things like that. And I feel like I'd rather me like take on all that.
You were dealing with the trauma. The thing
right.
really passed down to them.
Yeah, so a lot of times they be like, and I'll tell them stories and they don't remember nothing. And I'll be like, y'all don't remember that? And they be like, no. So it'd be like really me and my mom. Like I feel like me and my mom really grew up together. She had me when she was 16. So she was still learning too.
Yeah.
Kids having kids.
Yeah.
So when you said your mom was in the streets, like what was she doing in the streets?
She was like selling drugs. She was always on the corner shooting dice. She just
like
was like,
nightlife,
she just
no
was
structure.
like outside.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, I used to run up to the corner and she used to be shooting dice. And I used to be like, Mom, I'm hungry. And she'd give me some money, go to the Chinese store. But other than that, I'm just like running around. I'm outside.
So it's safe to say that you was like the head of the household holding your siblings down when they was out?
I don't think so. Because she was still there, but she just was outside. Like she just was, it wasn't like I was watching them all the time or I had to be in the house with them. But we all lived, it was like my whole family lived on the same block. You know how back in the day, like your grandma lived around the corner, your aunt lived here, so it's like we all lived on the same block. So I think that probably was a part of it too. Like I didn't really have to like really take care of them because it just was like a family thing. So
Everyone was looking after
everybody was
basically,
looking
yeah.
after, and I think that's how it was
That's how
back in the
that's how
day.
it's
Like
supposed to
even
be.
if you wasn't
My aunt lived
family,
next door, and then my mom, and then my uncles and all lived with me too. And we were just my cousins coming over my house. I'm staying at their house.
right?
We were out till 12
Outside.
at night. Right on it. Down the street is like the neighbor that's like family though. You can go in her house with the
Yeah.
kids without even knocking on the door. That's how it was
Yeah.
back in the day.
So I mean, it wasn't like the typical, like just growing up and just having like a perfect childhood.
Like no structure, no
No.
homework after school, no set dinner time, no set
Right.
bedtime.
Yep, I just used to. I don't know. Like I just like I don't want like my mom. She did the best that she could do with what she had.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that's a lot of times just like us parents growing up. Like you don't really know how to be a parent until you got to be a parent.
Yeah.
And then it's just like trial and tribulations. Like you do the best you can do with what you have, the resources that you have,
And what
the
you
people
know.
around you. You know, like things like that too. So, I really feel like who I am today and the things that I went through just made me who I am, made me appreciate life more, made me just appreciate and be grateful for every little thing. Because I feel like you can shy away from things like, and I feel like a lot of times we be ungrateful for things and it's just like you don't know what the next person going through, you don't know where this person came from, what they went through, and I just feel like you should just be grateful for everything, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So, was you as understanding as you are now, like back then when you was
I
a
was
kid?
always understanding because I didn't feel like it was. I didn't feel like it was bad back then.
Okay.
Like you know, like now when I look at it, I'd be like, okay, that wasn't as good as it, you know.
Yeah.
But back then, I didn't feel like it was bad. I felt
It was the normal.
yeah,
Yeah, it was the
yeah.
norm.
So
Especially when you probably got other friends and their parents might be hustling and stuff like that. It's like that's
so
that's the norm.
it was normal, yeah, back then. And now when you look at it, it'd be like, all right, well maybe that wasn't so normal. But yeah.
So what was back and forth from Williamsport? You're saying, where did you like end up staying at like for a little longer period of time? And then how was like school, like going into like high school, and then even like I don't know if you graduated or if
So once so my dad passed away in 2001. Once my mom became Muslim, I feel like that's when my life changed, like structure wise.
Yeah.
And I just say alhamdulillah for Islam because I feel like when I turned Muslim, it was the same for me.
Yeah.
But I feel like once she turned Muslim, it just was like, it was so much structure, it was always love. Like one thing about my mom, no matter what she was going through or how she was going through it, she had us right behind her. Mm-hmm. She never left us. She never sent us with nobody. Like we was always right there. So I just feel like that's where the structure came from. Like after she took Shahada, my dad passed away in 2001. Where did I go? I went to Alany High School. When I was in Alany, I used to fight all the time. I got kicked out. I had to wind up going to an alternative school. So I was supposed to graduate in 2004, but I wound up graduating in 2005. In 2004, I took my Shahada, and I feel like that's when
You cooled down.
Yeah,
That's what's
yeah,
up.
yeah. So
That's what's up. So how was it? Did you lived in the Alany section, or you had to commute back and forth from North to Alany?
So I wound up, and when I was going to middle school, I wound up, I had an older sister. It was from my dad's side. And I used to be with her all the time, used to be at her house all the time. And this was around the time that my mom just was figuring it out and getting it together. And she wound up letting me move with her. So when I moved with her, she lived in Logan.
Okay.
So when I think I lived with her probably like a year. And it was like the funnest thing, like her letting me live there. I had to beg her. She finally let me stay there. And I stayed there for like a year. I was going to Cook. That's in Logan too. That's like off of like Broad in Wyoming.
Oh, no, I'm not familiar with Cook.
So I wound up going to Cook, and then after Cook, you go to Alany. So that's how I wound up going to Alany. But once I started going to Alany, we was living in West Philly at this time. Me and my mom, my brothers, and my sisters. We was living in West Philly. So I used to like catch the train and go to Alany. Then eventually, probably like 2 years, probably like when I was in 10th grade, we wound up moving to Logan. Okay. So that was like way closer.
How were you in high school? Like, were you good grades? Did you start smoking weed? Did you
I never did drugs.
get into fights?
I used to fight all the time. I used to fight a lot. Like I said, I was supposed to graduate in 2004. I wound up graduating in 2005 because I got kicked out. They kicked me out for fighting. I had to go to night school. I went to night school. They kicked me out of night school for fighting. And then I wound up going to Carroll, which was around here. Y'all probably never heard of it. It was like an alternative
it's
school.
on Edgemont Street in Somerset.
Yeah. Yeah, I wound up going there, and I wound up graduating from there.
Wait, so I got a question. Why are you so violent? why were you so violent?
I don't know.
Do you think like people
I
tried
think
you
it
or
was
something?
probably, I don't know. Back then, did we used to fight a lot?
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
we used to fight a lot
I used to
back
fight a
then.
lot
I used to
back
fight a lot
then.
too,
But do you think it was because in the past?
I know you got kicked out of school though.
I did. I went to Fifth Simons. I got kicked out the first day for fighting.
See?
I got suspended for fighting.
Seriously.
I got suspended for fighting. I never got kicked out though.
I got
Yeah,
kicked
I
out
don't
the
know. I
first
got-
What you do
day.
to him?
We was fighting.
Fighting,
Yeah. That's how
Yeah,
I
I think-
went. And
Well, at least back then when you fought, all you did was really fight. You didn't have to worry about guns and all that. Like, you
Yeah.
fight and you keep it moving.
typical kid high school
Right.
And
But-
you used to build it and hype it up all day too. You know you about to fight at the end of the day. Carrying that tension all day.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it was because of the passing of your dad?
So
That played a
that
role?
was, I think that was another thing. So when my dad passed, it was like a real depressing stage, I think, for me, especially my little brother. When my dad passed, I think he just like lost it. Like he just was like wanted to fight everybody. Keep getting into placement, keep getting put back and forth in placement, and it just was a lot. And we went to counseling. My mom put us all in counseling. I don't think it really helped though. At
Yeah.
that age,
Yeah.
like at that age, you ain't really trying to hear nothing. You just So, but I think that's probably what it was too. Probably, and I never thought about it like that. But
Yeah.
that probably really was what it was.
Yeah, because I felt like that was like the source of a lot of my fights and stuff
Really?
like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
frustration and stuff like that. It came from like the passing of family members, and I never tried counseling.
Yeah.
Like they just tell you toughen up.
Yeah.
You're a man. You're a young man. Toughen up.
So Lil, what how many people did you lose at a young age? You were like 15 or younger?
Yeah, I lost my great grandma, my cousin, my uncle, house fire at once. I lost my mom literally right after that, a couple years right after that. She was like 31. And then friends and stuff like that.
Right.
And
Yeah,
it just
that's a
piled
lot.
up.
And
You
this
know what I'm
was
saying?
all when you were like 15, 16 years
Yeah,
old?
yeah. I was
Just
13 when I
imagine
lost
a
her.
kid having to deal with all that.
And if you think
Yeah.
about people in like the suburbs, like death's not normal that young. Like the way that we see it, in the it's like old people die when they're old. Like
Right.
people die when they're old,
Right.
not when they're teenagers or their family's not dying until their family's old.
Yeah.
It's a lot different in the
It's
city.
kind of like the norm in a city.
Yeah.
You mean it's
Yeah.
like the norm. It's crazy, but that's how it is. But it made it to the people that we are. This who we are
Today,
today.
yeah.
Yeah. This, you mean?
Yeah.
it
And I
all was
feel
a
like
part
that's
of-
how you look at stuff. Like I feel like now that I'm older and I'm a little bit more wiser, I just feel like everything happens for a reason, and you never know what it is at that time. But once time go on and you look back and you be like, that's why that happened. Like that's why it went down like that. That's why I didn't get what I thought I wanted or how I wanted it. And I just feel like it just be more so just to protect you as a person.
Right. It's like we got this podcast now. If I wouldn't have seen Frank getting beat
Yeah.
up, getting his commissary took, you feel me? We would have never been homies. Chill, that's my bro. Leave him alone.
He was the one taking my commissary.
Yeah, no, but yeah. So where we at now? We Alany.
She
you
graduated.
graduated high
Graduated
school.
from Alany. While I was in Alany, so to get to like the fashion thing, while I was in Cook, it wasn't Alany. While I was in Cook, I used to go down to it was this fabric store on like 8th and Arch. You know 8th and Arch, like under, it's like a bridge right there. Used to be a fabric store there. And I used to go there and I used to get my mom used to take me down there, used to get on a train and I used to get all this different stuff like feathers and diamonds and all types of stuff. And I used to just make stuff and wear it to school.
So what got you into that? Was it something you seen? Was it your mom? What made
No,
you say,
I
like,
don't
let me
know.
go get...
I don't even know. I used to draw when I was in like 5th grade. I used to draw. I used to have like this binder, and I used to draw a lot in it. And then I just started being into fashion like 6th grade. And I used to go to Rainbow. Remember Rainbow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to go to Rainbow on 29th, like 29th Street.
Yeah.
What is that, like 29th and...
York.
Not 29th and York.
Yeah.
And they used to have all these little different like little shoes. They were so grown. All these different like little shoes and stuff. And I used to buy, my mom used to buy them for me. I used to wear them. I just always was into fashion.
Sounds like you were always creative, like going back from drawing and then getting into fashion. So you said you were in school, and would you do something in school with fashion?
I used to just make my own clothes.
Okay.
And my girlfriend, which is my best friend now, I used to make her stuff. We used to just wear it. And
Like
then,
earrings and...
Yeah,
or like
earrings,
actual...
clothes. Like if I had jeans, like I would cut them up, put diamonds on them, put feathers on them.
Okay.
Just like reconstruction stuff. I never knew how to sew though. I just used to like add things and reconstruction a lot of the stuff that I already had.
Like you might rip some, put some bleach on it or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you was an artist at heart.
Oh,
Basically.
that's what you want to call it?
Yeah, seriously. That's what it is.
Creator.
Yeah.
Create stuff.
So I think that's where the clothing brand thing came from, especially once I took Shahada. I just felt like it was nothing, like it just was boring.
Yeah.
And I just like, I gotta do something. I gotta figure it out. I gotta make it.
How old
fashion.
were you when you took your shahada?
When I took my Shahada, it was 2000. It was 2004 when I took my Shahada. So I had to be like 18 maybe, like 17, 18. And
how did that go about? Because you said your mom already
my
converted.
my mom converted.
And you didn't until you were okay.
So she converted probably like maybe like 4 or 5 years before that. She wound up getting married, and just by being in a household with her, like you hear like different things, like, and you really don't pay. I really ain't paying no mind, but I could recite Al Fatiha by just hearing her do it and not even being Muslim. And I never really paid it no mind, but I think it was one day, it was during Ramadan. She was having a iftar. And when I walked in the house, everybody was covered, and I was like dressed regular. Yeah. And I felt so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I just was like, okay, I gotta figure something out. Like I don't like this feeling. Yeah. And that's how I wound up taking Shahada. And
did you talk to your mom about it?
Yeah, I talked to my mom about it. Like I said, she was already in the household, already practicing. So it was a lot of stuff that I already knew just by her being.
That's how I was in jail for me, because I had a lot of Muslim cellies for
really?
real. Yeah. And I would hear them, praying 5 times a day. I ended up knowing what they were going to say.
Yeah. So
that's tough. So
yeah.
What did your first Kimar and stuff look like?
I don't even remember. You talking about that I made or that I wore?
That you made.
Oh gosh, that I made. So I used to go down 52nd Street, and they have like, you could do like wholesale. You get like a wholesale account, and you can like buy stuff wholesale. As long as you got a business at LLC, they let you get a wholesale account. So I wound up getting Shayla's, like Jersey Shayla's, and I used to take them to this guy, and he used to put Hijabified on the Shayla's, like what is it, like the print.
Embroidery, screen printing?
No, not embroidery.
Screen
it just
printing?
was, it was like screen printing. And they was a mess.
Yeah.
They wasn't a mess at that time, but now when I look at it, I'm like, okay. But it also, like, I feel good looking at them from where it started at to where they at now.
Right.
You see the progress.
Like how, the progress. Like how some people that bought them, they still have them. Like a lot of people be like, I still got my Shayla from when you had the first ones. People still have them. So I think that's good. But I actually started off with t-shirts.
Okay.
So how I started Hijabified, I was working at sanitation.
Okay. I used to work at sanitation.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh God, you know how bad it is.
Yeah.
Sanitation is the worst. And I didn't start driving. Like I started
on
literally
the
on the back.
Yeah, that's how I started too.
Horrible.
Right home from jail. Yeah.
Yeah, sanitation was the worst. And I had just had my son, and they called me. I never applied for sanitation. That never was in my mind to apply for sanitation. I wound up being on a list for a CO. And they wound up taking my name off the list and asking me, do I want to start? Like, you could start at the city now and then you could always transfer.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
yeah.
all right, well, I'll do that. So that's how I wound up getting in sanitation. I started in the wintertime. It was snowing,
worst.
wet, rain, like the worst job I ever had in my life.
Oh man.
How long were you there for?
I wound up being at sanitation for like 7 years.
7 years.
Dang.
You
Wound
thugged
up
it, you
being
thugged it
there
out.
for like 7 years. I wound up started driving maybe like my second or third year.
That's commitment and dedication. Like the people listening real quick, like you did a job you didn't like because you obviously needed to make money, right? And
Yeah.
you stayed committed to that. I mean, you're doing something beautiful now, but you thugged it out for 7 years.
Yep, 7 years.
No excuses, no complaining, no quitting.
I cried a couple times.
Dang, seriously, it
Cried a
get
couple
real.
times, and people don't understand, like, especially for a woman,
Yeah.
throwing trash behind a trash truck. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Seriously.
a different type of strength you gotta have. Like,
Seriously,
Every
you giving
time I
me
talk-
flashbacks.
yeah.
Every
no,
time I drive out of the truck suit, I salute them because it's not an easy job.
it's really not.
It's not, and the
People
city
put-
needs it too. Like our city's already dirty as it is. We
Yeah.
need people to do that.
Yeah.
So I salute them people every time I see them.
And now you see more and more women though.
Yeah.
When I started,
Yeah.
it wasn't too many women, but now you see a lot of more and more women. And when I started at sanitation, the first day I wanted to quit. And I was like, I can't quit. I just had my son. I'm like, I just moved. Like, it's no way that I could quit. So I'm like, I just got to figure something else out. And I was like, maybe I could start a clothing brand. And I wound up sitting around, and I wound up coming up with the name Hijabified. How I came up with it, I have no idea.
And it started with t-shirts.
Started with t-shirts, and when I did the t-shirts, I always was quiet. I never really talked a lot. So me doing the t-shirts, it was like, you don't even talk. Like, who gonna buy your t-shirts?
How you
Who
gonna put your brand out there?
Yeah, how you gonna put it out there? You don't, and that's really how it was. Like, nobody bought the t-shirts. So probably like I got like real discouraged. Probably like maybe like a year later, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try something different. Probably something colorful. I'm gonna do like a mommy and me collection. So I wound up doing that.
Okay.
And then I wound up just going to a lot of different pop-up shops.
Oh, that's why I was about to ask you. How did you promote it?
Yeah,
And
I
how
wound
did
up
you
going
find the pop-up
to
shop? So
just the internet, like being on the internet, having social media. A lot of times, women, it was always like women pop-up shops.
Yeah.
And I just always used to go. I used to just go to the pop-up shops. And then after, I was on the internet one day and I found a manufacturer. And I wound up doing like a whole modesty collection. This was probably like maybe like a year after I came back out with the t-shirts. I wound up doing a whole modesty collection. I wound up going through a manufacturer out China. And in the mix of that year, I had just really found out what a manufacturer was. I never knew what a manufacturer was. And because remember, I just was getting t-shirts, going to the wholesale place, getting t-shirts and letting somebody print on them. So I wound up borrowing money from my mom and my aunt. The first collection that I did, it came up to like $10,000. And I bought all of this stuff from China. And the fit was just like horrible.
Damn.
The fit of it was like nobody could fit it.
Yeah.
The inseam of the pants was like so short. And it just was like, it really was like a waste.
wasted 10 grand.
A waste of money that I didn't have, that I had to pay back. I had to figure out how to pay back. And that was the first experience of me working with a manufacturer and really like taking a loss. Like,
How discouraged were you at the time?
it was a lot. Like, I did photo shoots for it. I did everything. I had to hire models, had to get models, everything. That was the first photo shoot I ever did. I'm just like getting out there, like trying to figure it out. And back then they didn't have classes.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like you know how you can like find a mentor or pay for a course, and they didn't have that back. You literally had to figure it out on your own.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I feel like it's real easy now because there's so many people that's gonna show you or tell you or are you gonna be able to
pay
them?
yeah.
Then yeah, so you don't have to make those mistakes that we made back then, like just trying to figure it out. But that was the first that first collection. It was called the Wide Eye collection. I remember it because I lost so much money from it.
Expensive lesson.
Yeah, yep. So after that, I think I found another manufacturer and I started the Shaylas, which is these. And that's everybody just went crazy with the Shaylas.
Dang.
And that's just how that's how it really took off from the
So
Shaylas.
you diverted away from the clothing and did more.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because remember, once I did the clothing, I had the Shaylas from 52nd Street. Because when I did the photo shoot, one of those Shaylas was in the photo shoot. So I had the Shaylas, but they wasn't like the quality of the Shayla that I have now.
Oh, okay.
So I just revamped that. Okay. Like revamped that Shayla. I found embroidery and I found a manufacturer. I found different materials. And when I was before I started my own Shaylas, I used to wear like Keymars. And when you wore Keymars, you had to wear pins with them. Right. And when I used to wear the pins break my neck out. Right. So I used to get like keloids on my neck from the pins. Dang. So when I'm like, all right, well, when I make my Shaylas, it gotta be something whereas though you don't have to wear a pin because I can't wear a pin, so I don't want it. Yeah, so these Shaylas, you don't have to wear a pin.
You can just slide it on. Yeah. That's tough. Yeah. That's tough. So was it encouraged when you first started? Like, did you have a lot of backing? Like, people was telling you, like, yeah, go do that.
I didn't. No? So I had my mom. My mom, like, always my biggest supporter. Like, no matter what it is. She the one that bought a couple T-shirts when I couldn't sell them. Yeah. But you know how people don't really see the vision. People don't really, until you really like.
The ball starts rolling.
Yeah, until it start rolling, then everybody want to jump on board or everybody like, you know. So I think more so that's what it was. Okay. But with the first collection, I think people liked it, but they just couldn't fit it. Like, it just was like, that's nice. I want to buy it, but I can't fit it. Yeah. So I think people was supporting me at that time, but it just was like, it wasn't too much that they can do because...
They were supporting you, and if the product was better, more people would have been supporting because they want the product, really.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't really know you, but they want a nice product.
Yeah, because it was nice. Yeah. And it was different, I think, just a modesty collection. Just the different, because back then you didn't really see too much, like it just was overgarments. Like ain't nobody really too much dress it up and dress it down and you know, so I think it just was different for people too. Okay. But it just was like,
damn, that's crazy. So what you wound up doing with the inventory? Did you
you know what's crazy is I still got some of the inventory. Yeah. I literally still have some of it. This was like, this had to be in 2003.
See, it probably was hard back then. Now you probably can get away with selling it because they wearing all the tight stuff. You could get away with it now.
Yep. So
dang, 2004. That was
this had to be like 2013. Probably like 2013, 2014.
Over 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was like probably
12.
Wait, like so 10. When you were doing the clothes, when did you quit your job?
I never quit my job.
You still work there?
I still work for the city.
Oh, now you're on the truck.
So now I work for the police department.
Oh, okay.
I was working. I literally just transferred to the police department. I was working for Highway, so I was driving triaxles. I worked for sanitation for 7 years. I started driving. I got my CDL. I started driving, and then I transferred to Highway, and I was driving triaxles. The triaxle is like repaving the streets. Yeah. So like a dump truck. So I did that for like 8 years, I think. So I've been with the city 15 years. Okay. Man.
And you just keep moving to like a better position.
Yeah.
But you got benefits, pension, all that good stuff. Yep. Consistent income.
Yep. And I don't know if I didn't quit my job because I was scared. I still don't know why. Yeah. But I never thought about quitting my job. Like, I don't know if I felt like it was a security blanket to always have my job, because with business, it's always up and it's always down. I could have quit my job a million times. but I just never.
You
think
just quit sanitation.
So the funds sometimes exceed your paychecks, I'm sure, from
Yeah,
the
for
business.
sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But-
So I don't know why I never quit. I never thought about it. When I used to like the hike of Hijabified was like 2021 to 2024. Like every year I probably was making at least 400,000 from my business.
Yeah.
So I could have quit a million times.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody used to be like, why you still there?
Yeah.
And I used to be like, I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna plant the seed right now. So if you do quit, this is what I did. You're buying back your time to double down on your business.
Yeah.
So if you did 400,000, you probably got an opportunity to do 800,000.
Yeah.
If you give yourself them 8 hours back a day.
Yeah.
But that's just me planting the
That's
seed.
your-
You can think
that's
about it. Yeah. Plant the seed. But
Yeah,
whatever,
so-
you got a comfortable, beautiful life, I'm sure.
But also,
So-
if she can still get the business booming and still work, that's a plus too.
yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. So.
Well, it's nothing
yeah.
like, having that pension benefit.
So
healthcare,
I
all
always
that
can
stuff too.
Yeah.
like do an early retirement. As long as you with the city for 10 years, you can retire. Like do an early retirement. So you still get your pension, you still get, all that stuff. You just pause it.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be like that I would lose
But they give you good health
those
care and
benefits.
a lot
Yeah.
with the
Mm-hmm.
city.
Yeah. I used to be burnt out with Philly. What is it? Philly one or one Philly?
What's
Philly. It's a burnout.
That's basically like they do payroll, right?
Yeah.
You log in or something.
Yeah, log in,
Yeah.
get your pay stubs and all that type of stuff. And
On-
that's probably when they first started it, trying to figure it out.
Would they mess your money
Yeah,
up?
yeah, they messed my money up a lot. of times. I just came home. I'm like, yo, what's going on?
Yeah.
The
On
J-Pay
top
come
of
through.
all trash juices splashing on me and stuff. I'm like, dang, what's going on with my
Yeah.
cheese?
You used to be a block worker and your J-Pays didn't come through. Now look at you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's deep, man. So, how far you? I mean, how big do you think you want to see Hijabified? Are you okay where it's at now,
I'm
or
not.
you're not?
I'm not. I'm always trying to add. I just feel like with business, you got to pivot. Like if something ain't working, you got to figure something else out within that business.
Yeah.
So I just purchased the Sprinter and I got it wrapped to Hijabified, and now I want to do like since the store closed. So I done like jumped into so many different things like when it comes to business. And I feel like I don't know why I always like just try to add stuff. I feel like when you've been broke all your life, you just always trying to figure out a way to make more money or do more things, and
Yeah.
So a lot of times I did like investing in a lot of different things.
Okay.
And I feel like I didn't like research it enough, and I lost a lot. So now I just feel like all I want to do is Hijabify and just pivot with that, because that's what's always going to be the thing that that's going to make me succeed. That's
Keep the main thing, and you could just do little branches off of that.
Yep. I started a restaurant with my family. We tried that out. It was right at 24th and Somerset. That didn't work out. I tried real estate with somebody. That didn't work. Well, I guess you could say, because I got a property out of it. So, but it's just like everything is like,
Your bread and butter is Hijabified.
it's Hijabified.
Yeah. That's where your
and I
heart's
realized
probably at too.
Yeah.
And you build it, you have more control over it, maybe
Yeah.
rather than a partnership or
So-
something else. You know the ins and outs too.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you double down on that, I was just thinking like, if there's like another city that's, and a lot of the metropolitan cities are heavy populated with Muslims,
Mm-hmm.
if you can get your brand out into like Chicago, right? Because Islam's getting real heavy in
Right.
Chicago. Now you have your brand out there, and then there's people to come. Who did you, Dre? Prince Dre? Like
Yeah,
people out
Prince
there
Dre.
to start promoting your business,
Right.
And
So
networking.
I got in contact with this guy out Chicago. So I said we were supposed to like link up. His name Bahir Imports. You heard of him?
No, I'm not
He
familiar.
do like a lot of well, he from Chicago, and he be around like Lil Durk Dad a lot.
Okay.
And he got like a store out there, and he be
Bald
like
head guy.
Is he bald head? I think he is bald head.
Yeah, I was on the Zoom with him before.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was on the
him.
Zoom.
He do like give a lot of people shahadas and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So he got a store, and I'm trying to. He like send some stuff down, whatever you could put in the store. So me and him like in the works of trying to get stuff down there. Like I said, like I just got the Sprinter, so I'm trying to do like different pop ups in different cities.
Okay.
That's something new that I'm trying out. I think that would be dope. So yeah, I'm just the store that I had. The store closed. I think it was open for like maybe like 3 years. We had like a studio, and after a year, it got so big that I wound up going to a storefront. We had the storefront for 2 years, but it's just be so expensive
Yeah.
having a storefront.
You gotta pay someone to keep someone in there.
Had to pay somebody
The
to
bills,
be there.
the mortgage, the lights, everything.
It's just like, and I'm just like I'm doing so good online. Why even like why even pay all
Everything's
this money?
pivoting to online
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yep. So I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna go back online. So I wound up just going back online, and now
You didn't miss a beat.
nope. The vending machine. I had a vending machine that sell hijabs. It's in.
Wow.
I
tough.
just took it out of Willow Grove Mall, so I'm trying to get it in the airport. That's where I really want to put it at, in the airport. So
That's tough.
that's the goal, trying to get in the airport, and then I'm just gonna do the Sprinter and do like pop ups.
The Sprinter's a great idea, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I seen it. It
like
looked nice.
mobile.
I know.
I seen it on Instagram. It looked nice. Seriously. What's one of the worst problems that you had to overcome? Not only with your business, like in life, period.
I just feel like everything is not for everybody. And once I realized that, I think I was good. Like it's always gonna be somebody that got something to say, and just being Muslim, period.
Yeah.
Like like it's just always gonna be an issue, no matter what you're doing, no matter how you're doing it. And yeah, I think that's what really was like trying to ignore like trying to ignore the negative things, like when it comes to Hijabified. And so I think that's what it's been for me. And I think I'm to that point where it's like I don't
even
care.
matter. Yeah.
Like
I am who
care.
I am. I'm comfortable with who I am and what I got going on.
Yeah.
So I want to touch on something real quick too. You said you lived in a shelter.
Yep.
How did that like pan out?
The
that's
shelter.
not like
That's
a lot
not
of people-
normal.
Yeah, it's not normal.
Yeah. So I can't even. I don't know. The shelter was different. I don't know. And it was like, I guess like when we was in the shelter, it was me. Like I said, my mom always took us with her. Like she never left us. And I don't know. It wasn't bad as people would think it would be, but it was bad because it wasn't normal.
Yeah.
Like it was nothing like traumatizing that I ever experienced, like being in a shelter. It wasn't nothing like something happened to you, or it just was really like y'all in this building with all these people that y'all don't know. Y'all sharing one room, basically. My mom, or all of us together sharing one room. I don't know. I think I like block it out a lot, so I don't really get to talk about it.
Yeah. It was like survival, right? Like you had to.
Yeah, like it's just like you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Like, and when you used to go in the shelter, I guess after being there for a certain amount of time, is to give you like housing and things like that. So we was there for a little while, probably like a couple months, and then they wound up giving us housing. And my mom just been moving ever since, and we've been good ever since. So.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So it was like a low point that she started climbing herself out of over time gradually.
Yeah.
That's
So
what's up. Did that happen before, like after your dad passed?
That happened before.
Before?
Yeah,
Okay.
that happened before my dad passed.
That's a humble beginning to come from, though. Like, because a lot of people are ungrateful because they don't experience the worst of the
Experience
worst.
nothing.
So it's like they had it made their whole life.
Yeah.
So they don't get to appreciate the small stuff.
And that's why a lot of times you see people really don't appreciate life, period. Like just ungrateful. But you just see people that's really just ungrateful, like, and really don't appreciate what they got, even if it's a little bit. Like somebody always gonna have more than you, and you gonna always have more than somebody else. So I just feel like you just always gotta be grateful for wherever you.
You think your gratitude helped you get to where you're at today?
For sure, yeah.
Because even when things were going wrong, you lost $10,000.
I still was just like, I'm always like, for me, it's just always like, it is what it is. You gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
Like I feel like as women, you don't have time to sit back and like grieve or sit back and like really like take that time, because you still gotta get up, you still gotta take care of your kids, you still gotta work, you still gotta like, you just don't have time to just mope around. Like something happened, you figure it out, you keep on moving, and that's just what it is.
It's like you're at war with life. Like life's still happening.
Because life gonna keep life, and no matter what.
Seriously.
And no matter what. So if you just sitting around, you're gonna get hit a million times, and you just gonna sit there every time. Like, no, you get up, you figure it out, and you keep on moving.
Yeah, because if you don't take no steps going forward, that's when you get really set back mentally too.
Yeah.
You got to start doing stuff to get out of that. Even if you're going to get hit again, but you still got to keep taking them steps.
Keep on moving.
Yeah.
Yep. And I just feel like that's how I just get through a lot of things. Like, and sometimes I feel like I don't be like what you call it? Like I'm not like when it comes to people problems. Not saying that I don't care, but a lot of times I'm just like, what you gonna do? Like, like I don't have no sympathy. Like
That's
a
the
lot of
reality
times,
of
and
it.
I don't think that it's like me just like, I don't think it's on purpose. I just feel like I done been through so much stuff, and you coming to me and you telling me about something that's
an easy solve. compared to what I went through.
like what you gonna do?
I seen the meme. It was like, we're only going to talk about your problems once. After that, we're talking about the solution. I don't want to hear about the problems again.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to keep coming to me with the problem.
No,
not the
seriously.
solution.
Yep. I recently got divorced, and you can't even really like sit and go through that. Like the next day after I got divorced, I had to get up and go to work. I had to get up and take my son to school. I had to make sure that I had to cook. I had to, it was like, life still go on.
Yeah.
Like you can't just sit around and, I don't know.
But everybody ain't built like you, though.
I know.
Like
and I got to realize that too.
Yeah.
Like, like I got people like
People
in my family.
are gonna be like, if some people might hear this and think like you don't got no heart, you don't got no emotion, but like really, you just understand life.
I just understand life, and I'm not saying that you can't be like vulnerable, like because we all get vulnerable. I feel like I cry, I wipe my tears, and I keep it moving.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's just like life is life.
Well, do you have any coping mechanisms? Like when you go through problems, like you might result to something, or you might result to making hijabs or anything.
Go to the gym or
So
exercise.
I don't like right now. I feel like with what's going on in my life now, just trying to recuperate from just being divorced and just life and things like that. I just feel like right now, I just feel like I'm all over the place.
Okay.
Like meaning, I'm trying this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like I'm not sitting still.
In
so I feel like that's what it is with me.
In
like,
every
right
aspect
now.
of your life, you have something going on.
Yeah, like
So
I
you
just
don't have
can't
time.
sit still. I just don't have time, and I don't know. Maybe once I sit still, it's probably gonna be like, it's probably all gonna hit me. But I just feel like right now I'm just like all over the place, like just trying to figure it out, like with my job, with my career, like just going to school. I'm like, all right, I think I want to go to school, or I think I want to change to this career. I think I want to, like, I'm just all over the place.
Yeah.
So
you're not gonna sit still.
You're not gonna go backwards either, though.
Yeah, she's not
Yeah,
going
right.
backwards either. No,
Right.
she don't got time to go backwards or
Yeah,
sit still. So that's what's taking her mind off of
She needs a
everything. You feel
vacation.
me?
yeah,
You need a vacation. You need a good week.
I do need a vacation. Maybe that's what it is.
So
But-
what's obviously you jump around, you don't know what it is, but what are some things you know that's definitely in your future?
I think for me, I just want to really like take Hijabified to the next level. I don't really know what that next level is right now, but I just feel like as long as I'm growing and it's moving and it's still relevant, that means that I'm growing. So long as I just want to keep it relevant, I want to keep people wanting it. And, you know, I just want to come up with different things and different ways to make these women feel beautiful. I feel like anytime you see somebody in a Hijabified, like in a Shayla, is their profile picture. Like, it's just like, it makes them feel so good. Like, if you ever notice anybody who wear Hijabified, they got their profile picture on their Instagram or their social media is them and they Hijabified. If you ever notice somebody walking in the street, their confidence is just like crazy. They just look beautiful. I just feel like that's what motivates me. Like, that's what make me want to do more. And yeah, I just love it.
You're adding value, pouring into people, making them feel good.
Make them feel so good.
And everything's going to come full circle after that.
Absolutely.
Where can they find your products at, find you at?
So, hijabifiedclothing.com. You can order online. My social media is Hijabified Clothing and Hijabified Nah. Yeah, right now it's just all online. The vending machine, I literally just took it out of Willow Grove because the vending machine is so Shayla's too. They could have went there, but we trying to get the vending machine inside of the airport. Or I was thinking about trying to put it in a masjid.
Yeah, that'll be a good one
So-
too.
That'd be a great idea.
Yeah, so
Because if somebody, you know, they're out and about, they don't want to wait for shipping for 3 days.
Right.
They might
They
want to
could
go
just
somewhere
go.
real quick. Yeah, and the airport, it's like, that's kind of drawing.
that's trying. Yeah, right.
But you get a lot of
But,
customers.
No,
'cause-
but the airport is like
Crazy.
Yeah, you getting people from all over the world. You feel
Yeah,
me?
but I'm thinking
bro?
of somebody from around here, from Philly, want to shoot somewhere real quick to have somewhere to go buy that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can go to the
Yeah.
airport, but
It could be both. It could be in the airport
you
or
can
somewhere
You
else.
can have a bunch of them. It's a great idea.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just excited to probably add more. Like, I tried to get it in Atlanta, like different cities or whatever. So I think that would be dope to try to get the vending machine in different cities and different malls. So I think that's one of my goals too. And I'm trying. I don't want to be here. Like, I want to move. I want to live in Dubai. I feel like I'm supposed to live in Dubai.
No,
like,
for
I feel
real.
like that's supposed to be my life. So I feel like that is one of my goals too, to move out of this. Just move.
Yeah.
Like,
And still
so-
run everything from online.
yeah.
Well, you did your
Yeah.
10 years, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yep. I can pick up and move anytime I want. So, but yeah, that's a goal.
keep building the brand. You have anything else, Lil?
That's it. It was a great interview.
Great interview.
Appreciate you
I
for coming
appreciate
by.
y'all.
I appreciate your drive and your success and your resilience going through the things you went to and making it this far. It's a great story, and hopefully someone gets inspired, or if they don't get inspired, they come to you and buy.
Yeah.
Shop with you.
Yep, shot with me. And I appreciate y'all for like, the interview was different because it just like picked on things that I never talk about. So it was good to
I appreciate
talk
you being
about.
open, too.
Yep.
Yeah. Real quick though, before we leave, is for the women out there. She went through everything from shelters to losing her dad at a young age. You can do it. It's a perfect example right here.
For
Like,
sure.
there's no excuses. We living in a world where there's no excuses. Just keep grinding.
Keep
You
going.
gonna get it. That's it.
Street success.